Ear. All right, hey everybody. So today I'm coming at you guys with a video about 5 things I learned from being a Harvard freshman. Now, college is very tough for everybody, regardless of where you go, and I just figured that I could finally share some of the lessons I learned. I mean, it's been a while, but hey, it's college application season now. Might as well get started. All right, so the first thing I learned, which might seem kind of obvious, but hey, is that Harvard really does not want you to fail. I mean, there's a ton of resources on campus, and they make sure you know every damn thing about them. Um, and just like the way that Harvard will push things towards you, certain organizations, certain groups, certain just facilities, and the way that they make sure everyone kind of knows about this stuff is really great. Um, Now, the quality of some of these things might be a little questionable, but hey, they are there for you. Um, I feel like the most important thing an institution can do when it brings a bunch of people into a space is to either prepare them or show them how to prepare themselves. And there's leagues of different tutoring options available. We have our own health services, questionable as well. Um, but the way that Harvard tries to make sure that you're ready for everything that it can throw at you is really great. And that's coming from someone who didn't have a lot of help educational wise growing up. And I just figured like the best thing that Harvard ever did for me was show me that I could succeed. Coming in as a first year, one of the greatest resources you have at Harvard is the proctor system. And basically what that means is it's the equivalent of an RA at any other school. It's someone who's there to make sure, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do and that everyone is safe in an environment. I personally have one of the best proctors, Abhishek Raman, and he showed us, these are the rules, these are how things is supposed to go, and this is how you can get where you want to go in general, whether that's any field of study or just extracurricular. Like he made sure that everything was there, and I'm sure many other proctors can speak for this as well. But that was just like the best thing I had as a student at Harvard, and it really helped me learn that they don't want you to fail at all. The second most important thing that I learned as a freshman was that you really have to manage your time wisely. At college, there's so many different things that can get in your way. Um, Extracurricular activities, maybe you want to focus on this particular class here more than the others. You have to learn to prioritize because if you don't, you'll find yourself sinking very, very quickly. I know for for certain because there came a point in time where like I just like found myself overwhelmed and just didn't want to get out of bed at all. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure you prepare for this in advance by seeing which classes require the most work, seeing which classes require the most focus in general, seeing where you can fit extracurriculars in, where you can fit in time with friends, meals, all that is important. So definitely don't forget to manage your time wisely. The third thing I learned was that no one really has friends until winter break. And I say that because sure, you meet people the first couple of weeks, the first couple of days, and you think, oh, these are going to be my guys, these are going to be my girls, these are going to be who I'm going to hang out with for the rest of the semester at least. But that's often not really true. You might get on campus and really click with this group of people that you're around just because of particular, maybe, um, things that are happening to get you oriented into campus. But the reality is, like, you don't really know anything about anybody. Now, of course, this can vary pretty well. Um, I actually ended up being friends with a couple of people from uh, early on in school. But I say winter break because at that point, you get to see, oh, who will I really talk to when I'm not at school? Who will I reach out to when I don't have to see them on a daily or weekly basis or such? And you see the same thing from them. Um, Now, this isn't to say, oh, everybody's the devil inside or anything like that. No, it's more so just that when you come in, you might want to see friends, and so you ignore certain things about certain people, but you'll learn more as time comes. So just let that happen. Now, my fourth thing kind of ties into my second, and that's school is very hard. Um, it's not a cakewalk at all. You're not going to come into Harvard, and just because you may have had an easy time with high school or middle school or anything else, that you, it's you're not going to be able to walk in and say, oh, well, I don't need to study, I don't need to do this or that. Um, it's going to take a lot. It's really going to take a lot. And that focus is something that you need to have. You need to reconcile with yourself very early on that when you get on campus, it's going to be tough. It may start off simple, it may start off slow, but it's going to pick up very fast. And you need to be able to get on the train. Now, the last thing I learned, the fifth thing that I learned at Harvard during my freshman year, is probably the most important. And that's, you can do this. When you get into a college, no matter where it may be, it's because the people that accepted you think that you can, in fact, finish the program. Otherwise, they wouldn't admit you. They don't want to bring their own stats down. It looks bad on them, you know? So when you get into school, the very first thing that you have to realize after you realize that it will be challenging is that you can do this. As long as you stick to prioritization, you stick to maintaining what's best for you, figuring out how you need to move out throughout life as a student and at your school, the very moment that you end up doing that is when you'll realize that you can do this. You'll get into a routine, you'll get into a role, you'll get on the ball, and stuff will go smoothly. Or it may not, but you will finish. All right, that's all I really have for 5 things that I learned as a Harvard student during my freshman year. I feel like these tips or tricks or whatever you want to call them really don't just apply to Harvard. These apply to any school you go to. You don't have to be like, oh, I don't have to go to Harvard, so I don't need to watch this video or anything like that. In the future, I may do more videos about being a student or being a student at Harvard, whichever wants to be seen more. And we can make this into a series if people like it at all. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know how I did. Thank you.